and welcome back to my homestead. Today is another glamorous day, and despite the rain, we have to keep on working on a homestead. So today the topic is about fall gardening. Very often we are accustomed of planting a garden in the spring, harvesting throughout the summer, come September, boom, done, right? No, not exactly. We can continue planting and harvesting vegetables late into the fall. So for our area, this is a perfect time to plant hardy greens that will be able to produce late into the fall. So in my case, I'm going to be planting spinach. For those of you who have tried to grow spinach, you know how fast it bolts and goes into the flower or seed in the middle of the summer, and you're unable to harvest much. So this is why I like to plant either early in the spring or late summer, early fall, and harvest late into the fall. So spinach loves cool, moist environment, cool weather. So this is why I'm going to be doing this right now. So it's important that you guys need to understand the growing zone that you live in. And there are websites that you can look into that. Because despite what you might think for your state, there are subclimates in each area where you live. So when I was looking at my town, it's funny, literally just 4 streets away from me is a totally different growing zone than from where I am, because it depends on your elevation and everything else. So I know the frost in my area will be around October 11th, October 18th. So that means I need to do the math and plan what vegetables will be able to grow in my area. How many days is it required to grow? So spinach, for example, will, harvest days 40 to 48 days. And it takes about 5 to 10 days to germinate. So I need to do the math. Do I have enough time? And I believe that I have enough time. In case the frost hits us earlier, I can always throw a light plastic or something to protect it overnight. So I'm going to be preparing the soil right now, and I'm going to be planting my spinach, because just because it's fall does not mean that we cannot grow our own vegetables and feed our family. So follow me in the garden if you're not afraid of the rain, and I'll show you how I'm going to do that. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm removing my mulch that was covering my garden earlier, and I'm going to be adding a little bit of compost on top of that, and also I will sprinkle, just literally a sprinkle of a organic fertilizer. And this fertilizer is rich in nitrogen, calcium, magnesium, sulfur, and it smells weird because it's organic. So I'm just going to literally sprinkle that in and work into the soil. So this is a no-dig method when I'm not going to dig the garden. I only need to loosen up the soil where I will be planting. Isn't this fun to work on the rain? But guess what? Now I don't have to water it. The rain will do it for me. It's perfect. You don't have to do it on a rainy day. It's just this is my only day off, so I got to catch the moment, and I don't want to be too late. So here it is. Okay. So I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of compost now. making 2 rows, and each row should be about 1 foot to 1.5 feet apart. And the row doesn't have to be very deep at all, not deep at all. So I'm going to be loosening up the soil for about like 4 inches deep, and that's it. And then I'm going to be, once I put the seed down, I'm just going to cover with about 1/2 inch dusting of soil on top, and that's it. So okay. All right, so now I'm going to be putting down the seed. And if for those of you who remembers buying seeds in a packet and they all like little tiny little seeds, especially of spinach, they're tiny. You have to space them out, and once they come up you have to pull out an extra and whatever. Well, let me show you the new and the lazy way. So this is a spinach Bloomsdale long-lasting organic, and it comes in this lovely packaging, and there are 3 rows here. Let me put this in my pocket. And they are pre-packaged in what it looks like, almost like toilet paper packaging, but they all spaced out perfectly. So when the seed germinates, I don't have to worry about it because they're gonna come out at evenly spaced locations. Isn't this wonderful? And it's so easy. Watch. All I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open this all up, and I'm gonna stretch it and put it in my row, and that's all she wrote. Isn't this great? Look how easy. And then I'm going to just sprinkle a little bit of soil on top. Well, actually, I'm going to sprinkle my compost. And that's it. All right. Row 1. And the row 2. So this will be growing in the soil right here in my garden until the frost, and maybe even first couple of frosts I will cover them with a little bit of plastic just to protect them from the elements if I have to, if that's what happens. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take a little bit of soil and sprinkle right on top to cover that up, and that's all she wrote. And just watch them germinate. Okay. So, but don't miss the moment, because every location, even in your state where you live, may have a slightly different sub-zone of planting. I know that only 2 streets away where my relatives live, it's a totally different zone, and I know it grows very differently than where I live because it depends on elevation and everything else. So, let me cover this up. It's so much fun to work in the rain. Thank you, camera person. I appreciate it. Okay, so I covered it with about 1/2 inch of soil, and one of the well, if this wasn't raining today, I would have very lightly watered this with water, but today I don't have to because soil is super moist and it's raining, so it's perfect. Thank you, God. So what I do last is that I put some sort of a stick on the edge of my row, so that way I know that something is planted, and it's going to let my family know, hey, don't walk, it's something planted there. If you have one of those fancy sticks, you can write on it what it is, what kind of type of spinach it is, and stick it into the soil. I'm not gonna do that because I'm not gonna save seeds from this spinach anyway, so it really doesn't matter. And I know this is the type of spinach I buy every single year. So I'm just gonna take two sticks, and I'm gonna put them on the edge of the row. One in the beginning, and one at the end, one in the beginning, and one at the end. And that way, one at the end. So that way my family will know that something is planted. So, friends, I hope you are encouraged to look into fall gardening, because just because summer has come to an end does not mean that we can provide homegrown, fresh, organic food. Again, you know, you may have different resources and different opportunities at grocery shopping, but I can tell you that the food prices for food and produce have increased dramatically. And if you have not noticed that yet, I'm sure you, next time you go shopping, look into it. I know that the spinach price has increased from last season by a lot, especially the organic kind. So I hope you guys are encouraged to learn how to do fall gardening. I hope this is useful to you, so try something new.